governor. What am I doing, you ask? Dressing up like I am Jane Austen? Yeah. I promise I'm not unemployed. I'm back, and today I've got poofy sleeves. I'm going to be ranking my favorite to least favorite Jane Austen novels. I love Jane Austen. I've been reading Jane Austen since I was very young. I think the first time I picked up Jane Austen I was 9. But no, I was 8. And I'm going to be ranking them from 1 to 6. 1 being the highest of I give above all that I recommend you should read because it's a fun, amazing read all over. And then 6 being, I honestly enjoy all of them, so it's not going to be like trash. It's not like this is trash, but on my ranking list, to me, it's like, All dressed up, we've made some tea, so let's go. As far as the way lighting works, this is where I get the best lighting, so we're doing it here against a plain wall. And if you forgot her name, it's right there. I'm gonna go from my least favorite to my favorite. Let me turn it so where I can see them. Which one is it? Which one will I pick? Oh, Mansfield Park. Yep, this one is ranking in number 6. My least favorite. I think this is my least favorite because it is the most boring. And that's awful to say, but it's okay. I find the love story to be a little strange, although people love Edmund. It's a little weird, guys. It's a little weird. And let me tell you why it's weird. So this story sets with Fanny, who comes from a very poor family. Her mother did not marry well, and so therefore she is an abomination. No. They have rich relatives who tell Fanny that, you know what, hey, you should come live with us and we'll give you a proper education. And so she meets all these other cousins that she probably has known, and the girls that are similar to her age are very unkind. Fanny feels very misunderstood. She's crying. She doesn't want to leave her home, but she has. And so she basically grows up in this relative's home, and she meets Edmund, we meet Edmund, and he's one of her favorites. They become friends. They like each other. They grow up with each other. Now they're grown up on the story, and this set of a brother and a sister move into this town. They're neighbors with now the relatives and Fanny and Edmund and all of them. And everyone's like, whoa, they're so cool. They're so charming. There's so much to them. And Fanny's like, actually, I don't know if I'm a Fanny of them. Oh, she's not a fan of Mary and her brother, but Edmund is. And he's like, wait a second, I kind of like Mary. But if you haven't read Mansfield Park, they end up... Edmund eventually comes to his senses, and he wants to marry Fanny. And then you're like, whoa, they have so much chemistry, they're in love. Finally, he doesn't want to be with Mary because she's a little uptight and she's upset about him being a clergyman. It's kind of, okay, all over the place. And you're like, yay, they get together. But wait, they're first cousins. And they get married. So I know that was a thing of the times, maybe, to marry your cousin. But Jane, it's a little weird. That is why this ranks in 6 for me, for sure. This is hard because I love all of these so much. Mansfield Park can kick it any day. And I know it gets that rap from everyone, so that's not a very unpopular opinion. God, there's cat hair on everything. But this is the hardest thing in the world to me. Okay. Okay. 5th place goes to Persuasion. Not that I don't like this. I also read this at a very young age. I think this was the 2nd one I ever picked up. And I really liked it. But after reading all of the rest, I was like, yeah, I like the other ones better. This one is one of the shortest to get through. I would say it's one of her most mature novels. I think it is. Persuasion follows Anne Elliot, who is engaged to a man, not really. He proposes to her. Her family disapproves, doesn't like him, wants her to marry wealthier, and So he leaves, and then many years later, she's now old, an old maiden. She's near the grave, the old age of 27. She's depressed, so this one deals with a lot more loss, love, regret. It is a little bit deeper. He comes back and he's like, hey Anne, guess what? Pretty rich now, so you're a loss. The encounters are awkward because there's this tension, but Anne still loves him, and I haven't read this in so long, so please forgive me. I need to know what his name is. Oh, yeah, Frederick Whitworth. Frederick. I got this a long time ago. I think I was like, I could be wrong, but I think I was like 11 years old when I picked this one up, and I thought it was really good. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Persuasion. It's a cute read. It's not like super fun or anything, but it's entertaining. The next one. This is where the unpopular opinion lies, and I think you know what I'm gonna say. Mr. Darcy! Pride and Prejudice! This is number 4 for me. This edition actually is really, really pretty. It's illustrated. It's super, oh, it smells so good still. Not to say I don't love Pride and Prejudice, but this one ranks in number 4 for me. I don't even know if I need to talk about this one because everyone knows what this story is about. It follows all the Bennet sisters, and it's about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy, and her sister Jane, who's supposed to get engaged to Mr. Darcy's best friend, and horrible synopsis of the story because it's actually a really great story. It's just for me, and I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be cool by putting this at number 4 because it is everyone's one of their favorites. It's not personally one of my favorites, only because, and I know the storyline is about not judging a book by its cover because everyone hates Mr. Darcy and they think he's like an asshole. But he is, and I just don't like his personality. And I know he's not, but he is. And he's like, you know, he's just too boring for me. Like, maybe when Elizabeth, you know, gets to open him up, he's actually a really fun person. Mr. Darcy kind of pisses me off. And I feel like, I don't know, I don't really love their love story. Hate me because of it. I don't care. It's not one of my favorites, but it is. I love all Jane Austen novels, as I keep saying. It's just not one of my favorite stories, and so therefore it gets number 4. What is it going to be next? Who gets number 3? This is so hard for me to pick number 3, and I've been saying this whole time, and this is so hard for me. Oh, jeez. Okay, I think number 3. Oh my god, I don't know. Okay, I do know. It recently became my number 3 because I didn't read one of these books until this past year. So I read Mansfield Park this past year and then one other of these, but I'm not going to give it away who has number 1 place. But one of these took 2nd place over Sense and Sensibility, which has always been my 2nd place book. It is great. It is actually Jane Austen's first published novel. I think she tried to get Northanger Abbey published first, but this became the first published novel. This is about Eleanor and Marianne Dashwood. This is the first Jane Austen novel I ever read. This is the first film I ever saw from Jane Austen. I think that, not that she made the film, but you know what I mean, adaptation of her novel. I watched the Kate Winslet version and Emma Thompson when I was like 5, I think, and I loved it so much. I was like, I want to do what they're doing. I want to be Kate Winslet in this film. I wanted to be her in Titanic as well. She's one of my favorite actresses ever. So is Emma Thompson. They're beautiful, both of them, gorgeous. I think that's one of my favorites. As if we were going in film ranking, Sensibility is on it's like the top for me. I highly recommend watching the film. The book is really good too, but I particularly like this sister dynamic. It follows Marianne and Eleanor. Dad is dead, the brother leaves them, they have to go live in this rich relative's home and fend for themselves in this story. It's about they're embarking on this journey of how they're going to live and who they're going to marry. Really a tell on following your head or following your heart. I think the male love interests and leads in this are particularly dull, and they're not as thought out, and that's okay because it's more a story about, I think, the dynamic between the sisters. I don't like the male leads in this book, and I think a lot of people agree with that as well. It's not my favorite. Honestly, they're kind of forgettable to me, and it's a really good story. Which is second place. This book this past year, and it took second place from Sense and Sensibility. It's so good. I think it's really good, and that is Northanger Abbey. Oh. This one has mixed reviews. I've heard people who say they don't like this, and you know, everyone's opinion is going to be different, but I personally like Catherine. She's so naive, and she's so far from the real world because she's so entrapped into the stories and lives of characters in a book that she basically is kind of delusional and pictures herself in that. I like her innocence, and she also comes from not the wealthiest family, and she gets invited by a close family friend to stay in Bath. And they go to this ball, and she doesn't have any friends, and so then she meets two sets of brother and sister pairings. One, she thinks this girl's her friend, Isabella, and she's actually not. She's quite a fake bitch. I won't spoil all that, but I don't like her at all. I don't know of many people who do. And so her brother, this Isabella's girl's brother, is trying to hit all up on Catherine, but she also meets the brother and sister pairing, Eleanor and Henry Tilney. Sorry, the last names, they get mixed up in the brain. Henry Tilney. I love Henry. He is one of my favorites. Henry takes the top for the male leads. I love him. I like his personality. I think every girl does when they read him. I mean, he knows some fashion because of his sister. He loves to read. He's just super fun and cool. He teases her. I like him a lot. Catherine's obsessed with gothic novels particularly, and so this has a gothic-esque feel to it. Henry and his sister and the father invite her to Northanger Abbey, hence the name, and so it's an abbey, and so is there spooky things that go on? We don't know, or I won't say. It's actually a really cute, fun, one of the shortest of the Jane Austen books. I liked all the characters. I like the 2007 film as well with Felicity Jones. Is that her name? Felicity Jones? I hope I'm right. They might have a more updated version of this I'm just not aware of, but I would love to see an updated version, film of Northanger Abbey. I think that would be really, really cool. I would love to be in it, so hey. Here comes number one. There's only one left, so you already know what it is. It is Emma. Oh no, Emma. This one, also I love this cover of it. I think it's so pretty. Surprisingly, I didn't think it was going to be my favorite after I was going through these. Well, it might be my favorite only because I love Emma, and some people don't like her character either. She's got it all. She's rich, she's basically a big trust fund kid, she's confident, she's pretty, everyone loves her. She's independent, she doesn't care about sharing her thoughts on marriage, which is so frowned upon in this time. I also love the love story. I love the love story in this. Mr. Knightley, who is her longtime friend, I guess, and they have little quarrels, and the movie's really cute too, so if you're looking for a fun, fast movie to watch, just a girly movie, watch Emma. Clueless is a modern retelling of Emma. So I love Clueless. She's just kind of fun. Emma's a fun character. She's never had any problems, it seems. So she wants to matchmake other people and make them all happy. And it's probably because she's a little bored because she's got everything. Mr. Knightley is also, I think he comes in second Mr. Knightley comes in second place for me as far as a cool guy. One of my favorite male leads. And I love a friend-zoned to lover story. And that's my dog. I'm sorry, she's kind of loud. I don't think I have anything else to say about it.
He's one of the big characters. I mean, he's Hamlet. He's just bopping around, doesn't know which way's up. Oh, I don't think the guy's got a clue.
Whoa. Thank you guys for watching. I'll bring all of these back and let you look at them if you want to. I had fun dressing up. I'm gonna go drink some more tea and let me know what your favorites are. If you have a favorite, how you rank them. I think the only unpopular opinion is where I put Pride and Prejudice, but it's okay. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!